If someone had told me a year ago that a simple holiday trip would flip my entire marriage upside down, I would have laughed. My wife, Emily, was the kind of woman who color-coded our pantry, planned our weekends months in advance, and hated surprises. She liked stability, predictability, order. But everything changed the night she insisted, no, demanded, that we go on a sudden trip to the coast. It started on a Thursday evening. I had just come home from work, exhausted and hungry. Emily was pacing in the living room like she was waiting for a bomb to go off. "There you are," she said the moment I stepped in. "We need a vacation." I blinked at her. "A vacation? Now?" "Yes. This weekend. Just the two of us." Her voice was sharp, urgent, almost desperate. That was the first red flag. We had never gone on a spontaneous trip in our 8 years of marriage. Emily planned everything with spreadsheets and color-coded folders. So hearing her say this weekend felt like hearing a robot attempt stand-up comedy. Wrong, uncomfortable, off script. I tried to brush it off. Maybe she was tired. Maybe work had gotten to her. "What's going on?" I asked gently. "Nothing," she replied too quickly. "I just need time away. I need us to go." Her eyes didn't meet mine. They kept darting toward the hallway where the suitcases were kept. That was red flag number 2. Still, I tried to be the supportive husband. "All right," I said. "Let's go." A weekend trip sounds good. But the truth is, from that moment on, something in my gut whispered, "She's hiding something." The next morning, Emily was already packing. Not neatly, not in her usual organized way, but frantically, shoving clothes into a suitcase like she was trying to outrun a fire. "Slow down," I told her. "We're only going for 3 days." She froze mid-motion, then forced a smile. "I know. I'm just excited." I watched her shove a sweater on top of something she quickly zipped over before I could see. The way she positioned her body between me and the suitcase was too obvious. That was red flag number 3. I tried to lighten the mood. "You're acting like we're going on the run." She laughed, but it was dry and artificial. "Don't be ridiculous." But her hands were trembling. On Saturday morning, we headed to the coast. Emily never let the suitcase out of her sight. Not at home, not in the car, not even when we arrived at the hotel. Usually she loved letting me carry the heavy luggage. Not today. At check-in, she hugged the suitcase like it contained our unborn child. "Let me take that," I offered. "No." She yanked it away. No, it's fine. I've got it." The receptionist raised a brow at her tone. I felt embarrassment and confusion wash over me. I whispered. "You're acting strange." "I'm just stressed." Her voice cracked. "Please don't make this harder." Harder? What was hard about checking into a beachfront hotel? Something was definitely wrong. We got to our room, a beautiful third-floor suite overlooking the ocean, but Emily wasn't admiring the view. She dragged the suitcase straight to the corner, tucked it behind her legs, and kept glancing at it every 30 seconds. That's when I finally asked the question that had been burning in my chest. "Emily, what's in that suitcase?" Her whole body stiffened. "Clothes." "Clothes don't make people this nervous." She swallowed. "Just forget about it, okay? Can we just spend time together? Please." Her voice was soft, pleading, and for a moment I wondered if I should back off. But the way she begged felt wrong, like someone who wanted to keep me calm, not someone seeking closeness. As she stepped into the bathroom to shower, I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the suitcase like it was alive. A million possibilities ran through my head. Was she planning to leave me? Running away? Meeting someone? Keeping a secret baby? Drugs? Money? Divorce papers? I tried to talk myself down. Don't overthink. It's probably nothing. But then the zipper moved. I froze. The zipper had been closed fully. I knew that. And now it was open by an inch, just enough to see something dark inside. I reached toward it, heart pounding. I shouldn't snoop. I know I shouldn't. But Emily's behavior was beyond suspicious. I placed my hand on the zipper and paused. Suddenly, the bathroom door opened. Emily stepped out wearing a towel, and the look on her face when she saw me near the suitcase? Pure, unfiltered panic. "What are you doing?" she screamed. My hand flew back. I wasn't opening it. Emily, what is going on with you?" She rushed to the suitcase, zipped it shut, locked it with a small padlock I had never seen before, and backed away as if protecting a vault of state secrets. "We came here to reconnect," she said, voice shaky. "Please don't ruin this." "Ruin what?" I asked. "Your mysterious suitcase. The one you won't let me touch. The one you're guarding like it contains a bomb." She flinched. And in that tiny flinch, I saw truth, pain, fear, and guilt mixing into something she couldn't hide. "I can't tell you," she whispered. "Why?" "Because you'll hate me." My pulse raced. "Emily, what did you pack?" She shook her head. Tears welled up in her eyes. "Please don't ask me that." I stared at her, unable to breathe. "Emily, what have you done?" She took a step back, trembling, and whispered, "I didn't come here for a vacation, Michael. I came here to tell you something. Something that will change everything." My stomach twisted. "Tell me what?" She opened her mouth, and then her phone buzzed. The name that flashed on her screen made my blood run cold. "Unknown caller. Room 314, I'm here." I looked at her. She looked at me. And that's when I realized this wasn't a trip to save our marriage. It was a trip to end it. And whatever she had hidden in that suitcase was the reason. Emily backed away from me slowly, eyes full of dread, and whispered, "Please, don't open the suitcase." "Not yet." Emily stared at the phone like it had betrayed her. Her fingers trembled as she tried to silence it. But the name, unknown caller, room 314, I'm here, had already burned itself into my brain. Room 314. Our room was 308. Whoever that person was. They were close. She turned away from me, squeezing her eyes shut like she could erase the moment. "Michael, please not now." "Not now." My voice cracked under the weight of anger and confusion. "We drove 3 hours to this place for a vacation, and you've been acting strange from the moment we left the house. And now someone is literally telling you they're in room 314. Her shoulders hunched. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I stepped in front of her. "Tell me what's going on. Tell me who's in that room." When she didn't answer, my fear turned into something hotter, something sharp. "Is it a man?" I demanded. "Are you meeting someone here, Emily?" Her eyes snapped open, glistening with tears. "No. Michael, please, just listen. I'm not cheating on you. I swear. This is complicated." I barked a bitter laugh. Every betrayal starts with that word. She flinched again. For a moment, she didn't speak. She just stared at the floor, looking smaller than I had ever seen her. Then suddenly she grabbed the suitcase and dragged it to the bathroom. "What are you doing?" I grabbed the handle. "Emily." She pulled back like her life depended on it. "I have to protect this. It has to stay locked until the right moment." "What's in it?" She shook her head, refusing to look at me. "Emily, I deserve to know." Her voice was barely a whisper. "You'll hate me. You'll never forgive me if you see it now." Something cold crept up my spine. "Is it evidence of something? Documents? Photos? Money? Drugs?" No, it's..." She stopped herself. I stared at her, finished the sentence. Instead, she looked at me with an expression so broken it nearly stopped my heart. "Michael, the truth will destroy everything." Before I could respond, there was a knock on our door. 3 sharp taps. Emily froze. I turned slowly toward the door, but she rushed in front of me. "Don't open it." "Why?" Her breathing grew rapid, panicked. Just don't. Please. The knocking came again. Louder this time. I stepped closer to the door. Who is it? A pause. Then a man's voice. Deep and steady. I'm looking for Emily. Emily grabbed my arm. Michael, please. Don't open that door. I beg you. Her fear wasn't the fear of guilt or embarrassment. It was the kind of fear people felt when they stood at the edge of something irreversible. My pulse thundered in my ears. Emily, who is he? She shook her head violently. No one. He shouldn't be here. I told him not to come. You told him? Yes, but not like that. He wasn't supposed to follow us. He wasn't supposed to. She clamped a hand over her mouth. The knocking turned into pounding. Emily, the man's voice called. We need to talk. Now. I felt my entire world tilt. I stepped back from the door, my voice dangerously calm. If you don't tell me everything right now, I'm opening that door. Her lips trembled. Michael, if you open it, you'll see everything I've been trying to hide. Good, I said. I'm done with secrets. She blocked the door with her body. You don't understand. If you let him in, things will explode. Everything will get worse. Emily, what is worse than this? She looked at me with tear-filled eyes, then whispered, He knows what's in the suitcase. My heart dropped into my stomach. So it wasn't just her secret. This man, whoever he was involved in whatever she was hiding. And he was close. Very close. Move, I said firmly. She shook her head and backed against the door as if she could physically hold back the truth. Emily, please, she whispered. I need time. I need to explain things the right way. The pounding stopped suddenly. Silence filled the room. A chilling, suffocating silence. Then footsteps, slow, heavy, moving away down the hallway. Emily exhaled shackily and slid down the door, burying her face in her hands. I stared at her, torn between wanting answers and wanting to shake the truth out of her. Finally, I asked the question again. Who was that? She didn't look up. Someone from my past. What does he want with you? To make sure I tell you the truth. About the suitcase? She nodded. And he followed us here? Why? Her voice was barely audible. Because he doesn't trust me to do it. I felt something dark and heavy settle inside me. Emily, what have you done? She slowly lifted her face to mine. Michael, before we got married, before we even met, I made a mistake. A huge mistake. One that found me again. I frowned. Found you? What are you talking about? He doesn't want money. He doesn't want anything from me. He just wants me to tell you. Tell me what? Her shaking hand moved to the locked suitcase. And then she said the words that shattered the floor beneath me. What's inside this suitcase? Isn't mine. I blinked. What? It belongs to him. Why do you have it? She closed her eyes. Because he said if I didn't bring it, he'd show up at our house. My throat tightened. Emily, what's in the suitcase? She opened her eyes, tears spilling over. Something I should have told you years ago. I just never thought it would find me. What? ISINTHE. Suitcase? Her voice cracked as she whispered. Proof of what I did. Before we met, my skin turned to ice. What did you do? She covered her mouth, sobbing. Please don't make me say it yet. Not yet. Emily. Suddenly, the hotel phone rang. She looked at it with a terrified expression. I reached it first and picked up. A cold, unfamiliar voice said, Michael, you deserve to know the truth. Meet me in room 314 in 10 minutes. And don't bring Emily. The line clicked dead. I stared at Emily. She stared back, pale as a ghost. Michael, she whispered, please don't go. But at that point, I had already made up my mind. I grabbed the room key, stepped toward the door, and said, Emily, I'm going to find out exactly what you're hiding. Emily's cries followed me all the way into the hallway. Michael, please. Don't go. You're not ready for what he's going to say. Her voice cracked. But I didn't turn back. I couldn't. Something inside me had snapped. Trust. Safety. The certainty I thought existed in our marriage. It all felt shattered. The hallway was quiet. Too quiet. A dim light flickered near the elevator, casting long shadows across the carpet. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears as I walked toward room 314. Whoever that man was, he knew my name. He knew my wife. He knew something she kept hidden from me. And he wasn't afraid to confront us in a hotel. Whatever this was, it wasn't small. When I reached room 314, I paused. The door looked perfectly normal, but my body tensed like something dark was waiting behind it. I knocked. The door opened immediately, like he'd been standing right behind it. A man in his early 40s stood there, tall, calm. He wore a black jacket and carried himself with the confidence of someone who wasn't afraid of consequences. His expression was unreadable. "Michael," he said, nodding. "Come in." I didn't move. Before I stepped foot inside, "Tell me who you are." "My name is Derek." The name hit my memory like a small shock. Emily had mentioned a Derek once, years ago. Some friend from her past she didn't like to talk about. I never pressed her because she always changed the subject. But now he was here, in flesh and blood, staring at me like he owned the truth. "What do you want?" I asked. He stepped aside. "Come inside. You deserve answers." I won't say anything until the door is closed. Against every instinct telling me to run back to my wife, I walked inside. The room was neat, untouched, clearly not used for sleeping. I noticed immediately what was on the bed. A black duffel bag, large, unzipped. Inside were stacks of papers, envelopes, even what looked like old photographs. Derek shut the door quietly. "Michael," he said, "I want to be very clear. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to take Emily from you. I'm here because she refused to tell you the truth. And you deserve to know." I crossed my arms. "Then talk." He picked up a folder from the bed. "It starts with what she did 12 years ago. 12. That was before we met." "Yes," he said. "But the consequences didn't disappear. They followed her. And now, they've caught up." He handed me the folder. My hand shook slightly as I opened it. Inside were documents, old ones, medical files, financial records, a few handwritten letters. Then I saw the photo. My blood ran cold. It was Emily, much younger, sitting beside a hospital bed, holding a newborn baby. My throat closed. What is this?" Derek watched my reaction carefully. "She didn't tell you about the child." I felt a flash of dizziness. "Child? What child?" "Emily never. She had a baby 12 years ago," Derek said calmly. "She gave it up. But the adoption was complicated. Messy. Illegal, some might say." I felt the world tilt under my feet. No, Emily would never. She signed documents she shouldn't have. The father, her ex, never consented to the adoption. It caused a legal mess. I was the one trying to fix it. I stared at the picture, unable to breathe. "She told me," I whispered, "that she only had one serious relationship before me. She said it ended badly, but she never said anything about a child." Derek finished for me. The photo trembled between my fingertips. "What does this have to do with the suitcase?" I forced out. Derek's eyes darkened. "Everything." He walked to the duffel bag and pulled out another file. When Emily disappeared from her old town, she didn't just leave the past behind. She left behind other people's lives tangled with her choices. And last year, the biological father found out about the illegal adoption. My jaw tightened. "And he wants proof. Proof of what Emily did. Proof she never told him about the baby. Proof she forged his signature." My stomach dropped. "Forged?" "Yes," Derek said bluntly. "She panicked. She was young, scared, and desperate. But the father wants justice. Or revenge. I don't know which anymore. And the suitcase? I whispered. Derek pointed at the duffel bag. Copies of every document related to the adoption. The original forms she signed. The forged papers. Letters she wrote. Hospital files. Witness statements. Everything. My chest tightened so hard it hurt. Those documents, Derek continued, were supposed to be destroyed. Emily begged me to help her, and I did once. But the father showed up again last month. He wanted proof, and she didn't have it. So she asked me to find the originals. And you did. He nodded. I gave them to her last week, and she put them in the suitcase. I swallowed hard, so she could tell me here. That was the plan, Derek said. But she's terrified. She thinks you'll leave her. I rubbed my face, feeling heat burning behind my eyes. She lied to me, I said quietly, for years. She hid something from you, Derek corrected. The reason I followed you here is because the father is coming today. My head snapped up. What? Derek nodded grimly. He called me this morning. He knows Emily took the documents. He tracked her location. Fear shot through my spine. He's coming to the hotel. Yes. I felt sick. What does he want? Derek exhaled. He wants the truth. And if Emily doesn't tell you before he arrives, he'll tell you himself. And trust me, he won't be gentle. I stared at the documents in my hand. A baby. A forged signature. An illegal adoption. A lie stretching back 12 years. Emily had been carrying this alone, but she had also been lying to me every single day. My voice felt hollow. Why are you involved in all this? Derek's eyes softened. Because the child was my niece. My breath caught. What? The baby, Derek said quietly. My sister's son. I felt time stop. Emily had given away Derek's nephew. That's why I've been following her. Protecting her, keeping things from getting worse. He looked straight into my eyes. But now, the father's coming, and you need to decide whether to stand with her or walk away before he gets here. My heart hammered violently. I didn't know what I felt. Betrayal, anger, fear, heartbreak. But then Derek said something that made my blood run cold. Michael, Emily's biggest fear isn't that you'll leave her. I looked at him. It's that you'll see what's in the suitcase and realize she's not the woman you married. I closed the folder, my hands shaking uncontrollably. Go to her, Derek said softly. She needs you right now. I turned toward the door. But before I left, Derek added one last sentence. And Michael, the father? He checked into the hotel an hour ago. I froze. What room? I asked. Derek's answer was like a punch to the chest. Room 204 directly below yours. My pulse spiked. Emily wasn't just hiding from the past. The past was one floor beneath us. I ran down the hallway toward our room, not knowing whether I was about to comfort my wife or confront her for the biggest lie of my life. I don't remember pushing through the hallway door or how fast I ran. All I know is that every step toward room 308 felt heavier, like I was dragging the weight of Emily's secrets behind me. A baby, a forged signature, an illegal adoption, a man downstairs who wanted revenge, and a suitcase locked shut like a coffin full of ghosts. When I reached our room, I didn't knock. I turned the handle slowly, bracing myself for whatever I would walk into. Emily sat on the edge of the bed, hugging the locked suitcase against her chest like a shield. Her eyes were red, her face pale. The moment she saw me, she stood up so quickly the suitcase thudded against her knee. Michael, her voice cracked. Are you okay? What did he say to you? I closed the door behind me. Sit, I said quietly. She obeyed instantly, her hands trembling. I stayed standing. I needed the distance. Emily, I said, trying to steady my breathing. I saw the documents. Her face crumpled. He showed you? I saw the photos, the hospital files, everything. Tears spilled down her face. But she didn't look away. She didn't deny it. She didn't make excuses. She whispered, I'm so sorry. Why didn't you tell me? My voice rose sharper than I intended. 8 years of marriage, Emily. 8 years. And you never thought I deserved to know you had a child? She flinched like I had slapped her. I didn't have a child. I lost him. That's not what the documents showed. No, she whispered. You don't understand. Please, let me explain. Let me tell you everything, from the beginning. I crossed my arms, heart pounding, then start talking. She took a shaky breath. 12 years ago, I was 21. Stupid. In love with the wrong man. His name was Tyler. Her voice faltered. I didn't know he had a temper. I didn't know what he was capable of. Go on. When I got pregnant, he snapped. He accused me of trying to trap him. He left me in the hospital alone the night I gave birth. Her hands clutched the suitcase tighter. I couldn't do it, Michael. I couldn't raise a baby alone with a man like him lurking in the background. I was broke, scared, and I made a terrible decision. A woman approached me, an adoption broker. I thought it was legal. She said she could help. You forged Tyler's signature. I didn't know it was illegal at the time, she whispered. I swear. She told me it was just a formality. She told me mothers did it all the time when the father wasn't involved. Her voice broke. 2 months later, the baby's adoptive family moved overseas. They cut contact with everyone. Tyler's family never found out why he disappeared for a week after he learned the truth. He blamed me for ruining his life. And Derek? I pressed. He was my best friend back then. He tried to protect me. His sister. She wanted a baby more than anything. She was the one hoping to adopt him legally. But I panicked. I signed without telling her, or Derek, or anyone. And the broker gave the baby to someone else. The horror in her eyes was real, raw, heavy, bleeding with guilt. I destroyed his sister's chance to become a mother, she whispered. Derek never forgave me, but he didn't hate me. He blamed himself for not stopping me. I swallowed hard. And Tyler? The father. Her whole body shook. He wants revenge. He always has. When he found out last month what really happened, he started threatening me. He said if I didn't bring all the adoption documents to him, he'd come find me. So you brought them? She nodded, silent tears falling. I wasn't planning to hide them forever. I just wanted to tell you when I felt safe. But then he started following me, and I knew I needed help. I called Derek. He got the documents back, and I planned this trip so I could finally tell you. And the suitcase? I asked. It's everything, she said quietly. Every mistake, every piece of proof, every lie I've lived with. Her voice turned small. I was afraid you'd leave me if you saw it. I stared at the suitcase. She stared at me. Michael, she whispered, choking on a sob. I'm not the same person I was back then. I was terrified, alone, and I made the worst choices of my life. But I'm not that girl anymore. I built a life with you because you made me believe I could start over. She stood slowly, stepping closer. I know hiding this was wrong. I know I broke your trust. But please, please believe me when I say I never meant to hurt you. I didn't move. Just say something, she begged. Anything. My voice came out hollow. I don't know what to say. She reached for my hand. But then, a loud thud hit the door. We both froze. Another thud. This one heavier. Then a voice, deep, angry, muffled through the wood, spoke. Emily. Open the door. Emily's face drained of color. It's him, she whispered. Oh God, Michael, he's here. Tyler. The biological father. The man 1 floor below us. He wasn't waiting for us to come down. He'd come up. He slammed the door again. Emily. I know you're in there. I instinctively moved in front of her. Get behind me. No, she whispered. He's dangerous. You don't understand. When he gets angry, The door shook violently as he rammed it. Emily jumped back, covering her mouth. Michael, she whispered urgently. We have to hide the suitcase. If he gets it. The door slammed again, louder, harder. I felt adrenaline surge through me. Emily grabbed my arm. Michael, please. We can't let him in. If he gets those papers, he'll. Another slam. Another. The lock rattled. Emily's voice dropped to a terrified whisper. He's going to break the door. Before I could move, we heard Derek's voice from the hallway. Tyler. Step back. Don't do this. Tyler roared back. Stay out of this, Derek. I'm getting what's mine. Emily clutched my arm with shaking hands. The hallway exploded with shouting. The door handle twisted violently. And then, a loud, splintering crack tore through the air. The door frame splintered. Tyler was forcing his way in. Emily screamed. And all I could think, in that split second before chaos erupted, was, everything ends the moment that door gives way. The door burst inward, wood shattering, and Tyler's furious silhouette filled our doorway. The door exploded inward with a violent crack, splinters flying, hinges screeching, the metal lock twisting uselessly as Tyler shoved through it like a man possessed. Emily screamed my name. I instinctively stepped in front of her, raising my hands, heart pounding so hard my vision pulsed with every beat. Tyler stormed inside, eyes burning with a rage I'd never seen in another human being. He wasn't just angry. He was unhinged. Where ISIT? He roared, spittle flying from his mouth. Where's the damn suitcase, Emily? Emily grabbed my arm, trembling uncontrollably. Tyler, stop. Please, just listen. He lunged forward, but Derek grabbed him from behind, pulling him away from us. Tyler, back off. Derek yelled. Tyler elbowed him hard, knocking Derek into the wall. Derek groaned, clutching his ribs, but forced himself back up. You're going to throw your life away. Think about what you're doing. Get out of my way, Tyler snarled. He shoved Derek aside and pointed straight at Emily. Why, oh, you stole my child. Emily's knees buckled. I didn't steal him. I was alone. I didn't know what to do. You signed away my son, Tyler hissed. You forged my name. You took him from me. And now, I want the truth. He moved toward the suitcase. I stepped directly into his path. You go near her, and you'll have to go through me. Tyler's jaw clenched. He looked me up and down with disgust. You think I'm scared of you? You think she told you everything? Michael, you don't know half of what she did. Emily sobbed. Stop. Tyler, please. No, he snapped. You've hidden behind this man long enough. He deserves to know who he married. I held my ground. She told me everything. Tyler barked an ugly laugh. Everything? No. She didn't tell you the one thing that matters. Emily froze. And in that moment, the air in the room changed. He smirked when he saw her reaction. Oh, so you didn't tell him that part, did you? I glanced back at Emily. Her face had gone pale, ghostly, almost translucent. What part? I asked quietly. Emily shook her head. Tyler, don't. He took a step forward. She didn't tell you why she really ran away from our town. Emily sobbed harder. Please, please don't. She didn't leave because of the adoption, Tyler growled. She left because she stole something else. Derek shouted, Tyler, enough. But Tyler's eyes were locked on Emily like a predator that had cornered prey. She stole money, he said. Thousands. From the adoptive family, from the broker, from people she promised to pay back. She lied to all of us, took the cash, signed fake documents, and vanished. Emily collapsed onto her knees. I didn't steal, she whispered, shaking. I used the money to survive, to leave you. You were beating me. You. Tyler's face twisted. Liar. He lunged forward again. This time, I didn't wait for Derek to intervene. I tackled Tyler with all the strength I had, crashing both of us onto the floor. We slammed into the dresser. Pain shot through my shoulder, but adrenaline pushed me on. Tyler threw a punch hard, wild, but I ducked and pushed back. "Get off me," he shouted. "Leave her alone," I roared. He grabbed my wrist and tried to pin me down. The man was feral, driven by years of resentment and fury. But just as he raised his fist again, Derek yanked him back, throwing all his weight to pull Tyler away from me. "Stop," Derek yelled. "This ends now." Tyler shoved him, but this time Derek didn't back down. "She was 21, Derek shouted into his face. "She was scared. You don't get to rewrite history to make yourself look like the victim." "I am the victim," Tyler snapped. "She stole my child. You abandoned him." Derek shot back. "The night he was born, you left her alone." Tyler's breathing turned erratic, rage warring with something else in his eyes. Shame, maybe. Emily, still on her knees, covered her face with her hands. "I never wanted this. I never wanted any of this to follow me." I got to my feet, breath shaking, and knelt beside her. "Emily, look at me." Slowly, she did. Her eyes were swollen, terrified, raw. "I was wrong," she whispered. "I was wrong about everything. I should have told you years ago. I should have trusted you. I was so afraid you'd see me the way he does. A monster." My heart felt like it was splitting open. "You're not a monster. You made mistakes. Big ones. But you're not him, Emily." She sobbed harder. "I don't deserve you." "Maybe," I said quietly, "but I chose you. And I'm not letting fear or a man like him decide our life." Tyler scoffed. "You're both pathetic." I rose to my feet slowly, meeting Tyler's eyes. "You came here for the documents, right?" He stiffened. "Then listen carefully," I said. "You're not getting them." "What?" He growled. "You want revenge," I said. "But revenge won't rewrite the past. It won't bring back the child. It won't undo the adoption. It will only destroy more lives." Derek stepped beside me. "He's right. And legally, you can't use those documents against her unless you admit you abandoned her and the baby. It hurts your case more than it helps." Tyler looked between us, rage fading into something tired, hollow. Finally, he looked at Emily. "You should have told him." Emily nodded weakly. "I know." For a moment, a flicker of a second, the old fury in Tyler's eyes softened. Then he turned to leave. At the doorway, he paused. "She ruined me," he said. "But I'm done letting her ruin my life anymore." And then he walked out, shoulders heavy, footsteps fading down the hall. The room went silent. Derek sighed deeply. "It's over." Emily collapsed into me, sobbing into my chest. I held her tightly, my heart pounding with fear, relief, confusion, and something else, something deeper. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But the beginning of understanding. Later that night, when Derek left and the police took statements about the broken door, Emily and I sat on the floor beside the suitcase. She unlocked it with trembling hands. Inside were papers, photos, letters, 12 years of guilt in physical form. She handed me the top folder. "Michael, I want us to go through it together. No secrets." And we did. It took hours. By sunrise, the weight between us had changed. Not gone, but shared. Finally, Emily whispered, "Do you still want me?" I looked at her, broken, terrified, but finally honest. "I don't want the woman you used to be," I said softly. "I want the woman sitting in front of me now." She burst into tears and threw her arms around me. And for the first time in days, I felt her breathe freely. Teach end.